Hello epic viewers from around the world, prepare to indulge in experiencing sheer bliss, because today another riveting caffeinating stellar video is about to commence. What will this video be about, you may ask? Let me demystify that answer to that inquiry right here, right now. I'm going to elucidate what this video will entail. Today I'm going to be reviewing sold listings of eBay Marvel Legends action figure lots. I'm going to be scrutinizing the deals and determining whether they had merit or whether they do not have any merit. Of course, this is subjective. Your opinions, your sentiments, your thoughts appertaining to these sold listings may be disparate from mine, so if they are, please feel free to convey them via the comment section below. Please feel free to invoke your freedom of speech at any time. Alright, so first we need to search for Marvel Legends action figure loss, and then we'll narrow the criteria to show only sold listings. Alrighty, let's do show only sold listings. The search criteria has been refined and we can sort by price plus shipping highs first. Now this Marvel Legends action figure collection lot sold for an exorbitant amount of money, and this lot likely consists of roughly 200 action figures. Of course, exact amount of action figures is comprised of is an enigma. Only the buyer will know that, but this lot has merit. I know it's unaffordable at over $4,000, but the winner was able to procure stellar figurines for a decent deal, considering that the second-hand market prices for Marvel Legends are typically over $20 each. This lot includes at least 4 Build-A-Figures, if not more, probably at least 5 if you include the smaller Build-A-Figures. Those Build-A-Figures typically sell for at least $80 each. Giant Man can sell for at least $150. This lot also includes Marvel Legends Series 6 Deadpool, Marvel Legends Series 6 Juggernaut. These figures command staggering premium prices. This lot likely also includes Spider-Man Fearsome Foes and the Spider-Man versus the Sinister 6 action figure box sets. So these figurines are just extraordinary. They are produced by Toy Biz. I love their sculpts, I love their textures, I love their shadings, I love their aesthetics, I love their hues. They have finger joint articulation, they have toe articulation, they have diaphragm joints. Some of the figurines that comprise this lot were churned out by Hasbro. They're not as stellar, but they're decent. Nonetheless, this lot is meritorious for roughly $22 per figure. It's not a bad deal per se. This isn't a stellar deal by any means, but if you were to get these action figures separately, you could expect to pay closer to $7,000 to $8,000. That's my estimate off the get-go. I love these figurines. So this lot seems to roughly have around 200 figurines, perhaps around 5 Build-A-Figures, possibly slightly even more. We have some variants in here, obviously. It's definitely an incredible lot, and you have, of course, a myriad of accessories that correspond to particular figurines. You have some pieces of MODOK which you can resell. You also have appendages of various Build-A-Figures. You got the Giant Man Galactus Sentinel figurine consolidated within the lot. You have a plethora of members of the X-Men. So as a totality, this lot is amazing, but it's not an amazing deal. It's just a decent deal, and the shipping is at least $150. So it seems to be roughly $4,161 for the lot. Of course, you could recover some of your money via eBay bucks and via a 2% cashback rebate if you have a credit card which confers you 2% cashback post-purchase on items. But even with 4% discount or 4% cashback in the form of eBay bucks and credit is still pricey, but I guess not too bad per se. So let's move on. I'm going to go back a bit and see what else we have. We have a collection of 75 figurines, so for over $1,575. The best offer was accepted. This deal isn't as stellar. This deal is less than half the amount. This action figure lot is comprised of less than half the amount of the previous action figure lot. These action figures are in mint and pristine condition, but it's just a hassle to open them. And the lot isn't as humongous. But if you do the math here, let's just presume that the winner paid close to $2,000. You're still paying over $20 per figure. So this lot isn't necessarily a bad deal, but it isn't the best deal in the world either. I think it's worse in stark contrast to the other lot. In the other lot, you didn't have to open the figurines. I mean, opening these figurines is a hassle. I know you may be laughing out loud, but it's just tedious, it's stress-inducing. It could be a traumatic, distressing, stress-inducing experience, especially if you cut yourself amid opening these figurines, since the edges of the plastic packaging are sharp. So you really got to be careful, and then you got to unravel all the twist ties and discard all the plastic shells for the figurines. So it's nice that they're new, but it doesn't necessarily connote with them being unscathed and in that much better condition than the other figurines. I mean, they may be marred with minor scratches and minor scuffs. There could be factory defects associated with these figurines. So that's not a bad deal either for under $2,000. Yet again, we don't know if the grand total was under $2,000 because the best offer was accepted and the shipping was at least $200. Again, not an egregious deal by any means. So let's see what else we have. Okay, we have a lot of 157 figurines. Now this is closer to $10 per figurine. I don't have a calculator on me, but off the get-go, I mean, if you just do 10 times 157, you will know that the total should amount to an aggregate amount of 1,570. But of course, the buyer had to pay more. He apparently had to pay $35 in shipping for these figurines, so it was closer to $1,600 or $1,610, I think. That sounds about right. So slightly over $10 per figurine. These are in mint condition, but the salient issue here is we don't have ample Toy Biz Marvel Legends figurines. I mean, sure, there's some. We have Archangel, Captain Britain, we have Beast, we have War Machine, but most of these figurines seem to be the Hasbro figurines. And like I said in my previous videos, the Hasbro figurines are not to par with the Toy Biz figurines in any facet. They can't hold a candle against the Toy Biz figurines. Their fingers are relegated to weird poses, their fingers are pre-posed. The Hasbro figurines aren't necessarily atrocious per se, but they're not amazing either. We have some Hasbro Build-A-Figures. Not a bad deal if you're an adamant, devout, avid Marvel Legends fan. But if you lack the Toy Biz Marvel Legends figurines, and if you prefer to procure them before the Hasbro Marvel Legends figurines, then by all means forgo getting a lot comprised of a multitude of Hasbro figurines. You'd rather get a lot comprised of Toy Biz figurines. They're easier to stand, they can be placed into more dynamic poses. Over here we have more characters. Obviously we have a Marvel Select Thranos and a Marvel Select Ultra. Not bad figurines. They retail for roughly $20 each. So this is not a bad deal. I mean, these figurines, a lot of them retail for at least $20 each, and then they sell for more in the second-hand market. But you're also getting Build-A-Figures with this lot, and new figurines as well as Toy Biz Marvel Legends. You may be missing some accessories, but this is by no means an abysmal deal. The only gripe I have is that you're mainly receiving the Hasbro figurines, which to me don't warrant these hefty premium prices, even at their asking default retail prices. So, not the best lot in the world, even though the prices are a bit more affordable. Okay, over here we have 85 Marvel Legends figurines, close to $1,400. But if you want to be exact, I believe it was sold for $1,374 95 cents. You could verify that for yourself. Or it was sold for an amount around that number. We have variants of Captain America, Deadpool, Spider-Man with interchangeable hands. Again, we have a plethora of Hasbro figurines. We have Radioactive Man, the Gladiator. We have some members of the Guardians of the Galaxy, the black and white Deadpool. We have a copious amount of accessories, so obviously you're paying more per figurine than you would be with the previous lot, but at least almost all these, if not all of them, are completely opened. I really prefer the Toy Biz Hulkbuster Iron Man over the Hasbro one. I believe it trumps the Hasbro one in every aspect, but that's just my objective opinion. Yours might be disparate. We have the War Machine. Again, we have a lot of Hasbro figurines, so this lot to me really doesn't warrant the asking price. I mean, I think the Hasbro figurines are decent, but I don't think they warrant a premium price of over $10 each. Why would I say that though? Well, I mean, just logically think about it. The Toy Biz Marvel Legends, they retailed for $8 each plus tax. They came with a stellar base. They had extraordinary aesthetics. They had remarkable shadings. They had high quality textures. They had over 30 points of articulation. Some of them had over 40 points of articulation. They were just incredible. They also came with a comic book, and sometimes they were bundled with an appendage for a 12-inch Build-A-Figure. So the Toy Biz Marvel Legends figurines were incredible, and I'm supposed to pay more, 250% more for Hasbro Marvel Legends figurine? I don't think so, especially when they lack finger joint articulation, and when all other facets of the figurine are not up to par with the Toy Biz figurines, which were significantly cheaper than the Hasbro Marvel Legends figurines. Part of the reason why the Toy Biz Marvel Legends figurines were significantly lower price-wise than the Hasbro Marvel Legends figurines is because Marvel Toys already own the license to churn out action figures derived from the Marvel universe. They didn't have to acquire the license. But when the third-party companies have to acquire a license, obviously the costs get passed on to the consumers. So here's another lot, 153 figures, cheaper than the other one that sold for more than $1,300 and was comprised of roughly 85 figures, or a number somewhere around that. We seem to have more Toy Biz figurines within this lot. I mean, this lot isn't bad per se. These figurines may be missing their accessories. If I didn't have a significant amount of figurines in this lot, I would have considered buying them. My only gripes about this lot is that they're missing, actually, I retract my previous statement, maybe they have most of their accessories, but this is not a bad Marvel Legends action figure lot by any means. I mean, we have the Moonlight missing the cape, which is an issue. We have, I don't think we have a Deadpool, I haven't seen him. We have Kingpin. I hope that these characters are missing their masks. So yeah, this is definitely a much better deal. Of course, you're getting the figurines for under $10 each, and most of these are Toy Biz figurines. Now, worst case scenario, even if they're missing their corresponding accessories, it's still a stellar deal, because you're gaining an exorbitant amount of Toy Biz figurines for under $10 each. So, not a bad deal. And then we're just going to scrutinize one more lot real quick. And then I'm going to go water before I dehydrate. I'm famished, and I'm on the cusp of passing out. So here's the final lot we're looking at. These are some other lots. I just want to real briefly review the lot that sold for $999, nearly $1,000, nearly $1,000 for this lot. Of course, you have over 100 figures, practically in pristine condition, and some of these figurines are Marvel Select figurines, so they coincide eminently well with a 6-inch Marvel Legends action figure line. Of course, these figurines have their corresponding bases. These figurines aren't bad per se. I do love this guy's setup. The Marvel Select figurines are nice. They're excellent alternatives if you can afford the Toy Biz Marvel Legends figurines. Of course, we have some Hasbro figurines, but for 100 figurines that consist of Marvel Select figurines, Hasbro figurines, and Toy Biz figurines, I mean, you can't really go wrong with this lot. why not? I mean, they really don't seem to be missing their accessories for the most part. And these figurines just are high quality, they're bulky. There doesn't really seem to be preponderance of Hasbro figurines within the slot. Of course I can be wrong, but just when I scrutinize it, it doesn't seem like there's over 51 Hasbro figurines within the slot. But even if there is, worst case scenario, the slot still mirrors the price. If you're lacking ample Marvel Legends, and if you want more Marvel Select and more Toy Biz Marvel Legends figurines, so this lot isn't bad by any means. I mean, they really don't seem to be missing their accessories for the most part. Even he said that they're in excellent condition. There's 100 figures listed technically at $10 each. They're sold as an entire lot, so it's not a bad deal by any means. And you're not laying out as much capital as you would be if you purchased the aforementioned lots, which sold for over $1,000 each. So for roughly $1,000 each, I mean, this isn't bad. I love the Banshee figure. That figure alone could sell for at least $30. The Punisher figure is nice, and with the Vision figure. I love the Iron Man variants. The Black Widow figure is decent. Same with the Thing from the Legendary Rider series. Again, you have some figurines in the Wrecking Crew. You have variants of Iron Man. You have Quicksilver. You have a Wolverine. You have a couple of Build-A-Figures in there. Actually, at least 3 Build-A-Figures in there. You have the Anti-Venom figures. So these figurines have decent textures. I love the deco on the Spider-Man. I love their aesthetics. I love their hues. I just love everything about them. I love their dynamic poses. I love their muscle tones. I love the fact that their sculpts accentuate their physical prowess. So this lot isn't bad by any means. It isn't the quintessential Marvel Legends action figure lot, but you really can't go wrong purchasing this lot. So this is my review of the sold listings of Marvel Legends action figure lots. You may want to pick up one if you could stumble upon one for a decent price, but they are expensive. Just bear that in mind. If you could find these figures in the retail stores, you may want to buy them from retailers as opposed to private sellers. The reason being is because the prices are usually marked up and inflated via eBay or Amazon. So if you could find them in the retail stores, you may want to get them. Action figures have a propensity to appreciate in value rather than depreciate. Now, there's a chance that the Marvel Legends figurines could depreciate in value, but it's highly unlikely at this point if you just extrapolate the trends and if you look at past data of action figure prices. So I hope that one day these action figures will depreciate so they're more affordable for all of us. I hope 3D printers become mainstream so we could churn out our own Marvel Legends action figures and we don't have to concede to these ridiculous premium prices. But at the moment we have to concede to these premium prices. If you can find the Toy Biz Marvel Legends figurines sold together in a lot for under $20 each, then you're in luck. But if not, then it's not the end of the world. The first lot that I showed, I believe, also consisted of Avalanche. She's quite a rare figure. Sometimes sells for over $150 each. I believe it consisted of Destroyer. So there's a slew of rare figurines within this lot. You also have Goliath, the Hasbro version. You have some figurines from the Legendary Rider series. You have Professor X. This is just an amazing lot, even though it's not the best deal in the world. But you really can't go wrong with buying a lot like this. I mean, that's my humble, objective, meticulous opinion. So I hope that I've been studious in my analyses appertaining to these action figure lots. Hopefully my analysis of this lot appeased you and appealed to your niche interests. So I'm curious if your sentiments are akin to mine or if they're disparate. Do you staunchly disagree with everything I said, or do you concur? What do you think about these lots? I mean, you just can't go wrong with these figurines. They're just extraordinary. I mean, even figurines that retail for over $50 to $80 each, amid the advent of them being released, they lack finger joint articulation. They typically come with interchangeable hands, but still finger joint articulation is just unbelievable because it just allows so many more customization options. These figurines are not slacking in any aspect. They're not low quality in any aspect. And I do love the fact that they have peg holes in their feet, so they can be mounted to stands. You could also mount them to the wall if you so choose to, if you want to use fun tack or something like that, or commando tape, just so they give off the illusion that they're plastered to the wall or something, or climbing off the wall. They're just a riot to have around, and you really can't go wrong with these figurines. They have so much intrinsic value and so much extrinsic value. I just love these figurines to death, or I love them to life. You just really can't go wrong with this lot. And this lot, of course, contains their armaments, their corresponding weapons. Some of them may be missing, but it seems as though a plethora of them are there. And if some of them are missing, worst case scenario, I mean, you could always purchase them via eBay. I love the Scarlet Witch. I prefer the Hasbro face, but I do prefer the Toy Biz version. The Toy Biz version as a totality is superior. If you look at it from a holistic aspect, you realize that it has more points of articulation. Of course, I prefer the Toy Biz vision over the Hasbro vision. I do like the Hasbro. I do love the Hasbro Quicksilver action figure. Why do I relish that figurine? Because it had finger joint articulation. One time, Hasbro figurines had finger joint articulation. Today they don't. But it's just a shame that the Four Horsemen Studios Corporation are no longer sculpting these Marvel Legends figurines. But at one point they were, so you may want to get figurines sculpted by them. They're the quintessential corporation, in my opinion. I also love Toy Biz. Too bad Toy Biz is defunct, but I'm just gratified that these action figures are being sold, and it's great that other people are willing to relinquish these figurines. Why is it excellent? Because you can avail yourself of the opportunity to buy these figurines, flaunt them on your shelves, stare at them, relish looking at them, take a gander at them every day. These are just incredible, extraordinary figurines, and you really can't go wrong with any of these lots unless you already obtain most of these figurines. I mean, the Hasbro ones are mediocre. I don't like settling for insipid mediocrity, but if you lack any Marvel Legends figurines, they're better than the Toy Biz figurines are produced amid the 1990s. But the Toy Biz figurines produced amid the early 2000s are the best, so ideally get those. If you can't afford those, get the Hasbro figurines that are lower in price on the second-hand market, if they are. And if those are unaffordable, then buy the Toy Biz figurines from the 1990s. If you can't afford any of that, then wait until 3D printers are mainstream. Maybe you'll be able to print your own Marvel Legends action figures. Or if you can't even afford that in the future, if that vision does come to fruition, then you could always look at them and roleplay that you have them in your imagination, or vicariously believe you own them through watching other people's YouTube videos. So there's a multitude of options. Don't be closed-minded. Do not be myopic. Do not be myopic. Sorry about the blunder. Be open-minded. But I mean, there are decent deals. You really have to browse, and ideally you really want to try to get them for under $15 per figure. But it's okay if you're paying more than $15 if you have some build-a-figures, if you have some scarce Marvel Legends in there, if you have some Marvel Legends that are over $100 each. So these are decent lots overall as a totality. I'm done with this video. I'm done ranting and raving about the shortcomings of the Hasbro Marvel Legends figurines. I'm done embellishing the Toy Biz Marvel Legends figurines. The reviews are done. I can finally end the video with some peace of mind because I performed my due diligence and I articulated what I wanted to. I spew the words from my vocal folds that I tended to spew. Of course, this video was improvised. It was unscripted. I know it's a bit uncanny and unprecedented for someone to output videos without a script, but I just really want to be authentic and blatantly honest with my viewers. I don't want to read off a script and sound like someone who's reading off a teleprompter. So those are my thoughts that I want to share with you. I disseminate them throughout the multiverse, or throughout the globe, or throughout the sovereign nations, or throughout the internet, or throughout cyberspace. That's everything I wanted to convey. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you deemed it to be intriguing and insightful. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.